Keys to resolving conflict, to working through arguments. This is a very important topic, huge skill, important life skill. Welcome in. Bam, much love, Trav here. And as always, if you have anything to contribute from personal experience, from anecdote, from books you've read, anything that you've learned at all, we'd love to hear in the comments. I don't claim to be an expert on all things, even though I'm leading the discussion on this, on how to resolve conflict and arguments. But we know it's really important because humans are social creatures. Everything that we're doing in life, for the most part, is based on relationships with other people, and there's going to be conflicts. There's going to be arguments. There's going to be fights. So first, and what should you do, right? Our ability to resolve those and to compromise and to figure out how we can work through this is hugely important to our success in all things that we do. So, first of all, what is a conflict, or what causes them, or what is an argument? Well, a conflict could be a lot of things, but generally you know it when you see it, or you know it when you feel it. Usually it has to do with mismatched interests. People want different things. It can have to do with communication issues over the mismatched interests. One person wants one thing, the other person wants another thing. They're not, neither party is sure on the issue. That's generally what a conflict is. You know, you actually look at a conflict, it's a mismatch of interests. A conflict could happen between an employer and an employee. The employer wants to pay less, employee wants to be paid more. Classic example, conflict could be between romantic partners. One of them wants one thing or wants to keep something a secret, or the other one wants to know. You know, that sort of conflict, mismatched interest, conflict over missed expectations. Friend says they're going to be there at 3, no show, no text. Doesn't right? There's plenty of examples of conflict. Conflict often will lead to argument or fight or emotion. So here's the importance in resolving this stuff. If you're not good at resolving conflicts, you're going to burn a lot of bridges. Burning bridges, it's less bad in the new modern city world where you can go find a new job, you can find a new partner, you can find new friends, kind of. Still not very optimal. It's much better to resolve this stuff so you don't have to, you can still work with people even when there's conflicts of interest. Obviously, you live in smaller communities, smaller town, villages, stuff like that. It becomes much more important because you can't just disappear into the night to never see someone again, right? You have to resolve this stuff. Okay, so I would say the number one key, you can agree or disagree with me here, to resolving a conflict, we're going to go over a couple issues. The first key is trying to make a discussion, trying to talk about it in as intimate a way as possible. What I mean is text message, resolving conflict over disputes, over pay, over bargaining, especially when there's emotion involved. Text, use text to escalate to phone call. Use phone call to escalate to in-person meeting. Serious conflicts should be resolved as intimately as possible, ideally in person. If that can't be done, it can be done over phone. It shouldn't happen over text, it shouldn't happen over email. You can use text and email to try to arrange a discussion, but you need to be able to hear the other person's voice, hear the emotion, know where they're coming from, ideally to be able to see them in person. It's going to be very hard to find common ground otherwise. So, I've learned that when I was much younger, breaking up with a girlfriend over text message, like, come on, that just should not happen. Trying to bargain, even more recently, trying to bargain for negotiate for a new contract for more money with my blog employer over email. I should have escalated that to phone, So that's my number one key. My number two key, I'd say, is trying to see from the other person's perspective. You want to know if conflicts are happening over mismatched interests. You want to know what their interest is. What does this person want? What are they trying to get? What would be hurtful to them? What would be helpful to them? So you want to ask. That's going to lead you to thinking, I wonder what the issue is here. I wonder what they want. Also lead you to asking tough questions and saying, hey, can you give me some feedback here? What's the issue? What's on your mind? Go ahead, say it. I'm not going to judge. I just want to know. You can lay it all out there, right? That sort of a thing is very helpful so you can get more information because we're going to be working towards compromise here, trade-offs, and there's got to be better understanding along the way. So you have to have the intention of learning more about their position, executing the action of asking them more about their position, okay? Number 3, so number 1 is trying to make the talk about it and make it intimate. Number 2 is trying to figure out where they're coming from. Number 3, I would say, is trying to de-escalate the emotion whenever possible. People will get mad. You could get mad. That's probably not going to be helpful. Anger can be nice because it will let you say what you want to say, but it can also lead you to saying things that you would regret saying. So you want to be emotionally in control as you do this. You want to know the emotions the other party is feeling, but you don't have to mirror that. So make a commitment to try to stay as stable and as cool and as calm as possible when working through conflict, working towards an agreement. Make a commitment to yourself. Stay cool. You got this. You'll be all right. And that's important. You can work through the emotions. Eventually, parties will be chill. And here's number 4, and this is really what you're working towards. Number 4 is offering options, suggesting solutions, coming up with possibilities. Okay, now we're here together or on the phone. We kind of understand each other's positions. You asked theirs, presumably you shared your position as well. De-escalated the emotion as much, trying to diffuse the situation as much as possible. Now you're working on solutions. Now, what if we do this instead? Okay, I see you can't really afford to pay that much for this. What if I do this extra? Does it make sense for you then? Right? What if I, I'll accept this. That's fine. Or I understand that you were mad because of this, this issue. Here's a possibility solution moving forward. Right? Yeah. I want to go back. So, and that will lead to ultimately getting on the same page. The interests don't need to be totally aligned, but once you see the interest as a Venn diagram overlapping and something you can do together to make it happen, then the conflict will be mostly resolved. I want to add in one more step back in probably step 3 or step 4 after trying to understand their position. Accepting responsibility for your part that you played. It's not the other person isn't just we create the situations we're in. It's empowering to believe that. It's empowering to believe that, hey, I created this and I can create my way out. And the other person played their part, but you can even take full responsibility for everything. I miscommunicated. I didn't consider. I didn't write, and you can apologize. There's nothing wrong. It's never wrong. It's never really wrong to apologize. Some people think it is, but it never really is. Anyways, so steps I would say to resolving conflict are, actually I'm going to add another one. Number 6 is throw in some love. I've seen this. Shout out to my guy Nico if he's listening right now. I saw him resolve this conflict at a breakdance competition in Seattle a few weeks ago. Their team, their squad did not win, and maybe they should have. They were judged to be second in the end. And one of the judges was not paying as much attention to their ace, their best performer. He was more working on his notes and so on. So Nico came to him in person and told him his issue and listened to the judge explaining, and possible solution, asking for basically more attention and looking, holding the mental notes more. And there was a lot of respect, like, appreciate you, bro, love you, thank you, just needed to speak that out. And I think that's really helpful as well, like, to do the resolve the conflict with love as well. Like, yo, we're mutual interests are off here, trying to understand your position, here's my position, trying to diffuse the emotion, offer possible solutions, trying to do it with love. So that's my framework for resolving conflict. And I'm not perfect at it. I've gotten better for trial and error, and I hope that I get better through hearing feedback from you in the comments down below. So let me know what you think. Appreciate you. Look forward to hearing what you have to say, and we will speak soon.